Patrick says, you are a trifecta.
Trifecta. What's
so trifecta means you're the first one that actually when you build, a business for like $1 billion or more. So you're very successful in business. Then you're also, you had social media. You conquer social media, with the program Apprentice.
Yeah.
And that went for almost 15 years straight. Number one, on show.
Yeah.
Then in addition to that, you also went into politics without necessarily having to go through all the normal channel, and then you became a president. There's
that's
no
crazy.
one in the history of presidency that have a trifecta like that. Normally you win in business, you run, or you did this, or you were in politics, or you were a general, you were a commander, you were in the military, but not like that. So he came as a trifecta. Donald Trump says, hold on a second. You're right. This is so good. No one ever introduced me like that.
Nobody never edified him like that.
That's the power of edification. So edification is finding something unique and special about the individual that separate them. Highlight that because that's who they are, and that makes them so special over everybody else.
No, correct.
That it comes generally, organically, it's a known space.
Yeah.
But that means you have to know the person, or at least know the history of the person.
No, correct. No, I believe that 100%. And I'm not even saying that that's not true.
Yeah.
I think it's just because with how I am used to operating, and now the financial services is a new space for me, where it's kind of making me be in a professional way, and I'm not used to being that way all the time. Yeah. So I'm getting there.
Yeah, it makes you very professional.
Yeah.
But I also watch the growth. Your growth, it's incredible. Because
tremendously.
From the first time I met you to like who you are today, it's a quantum leap in growth.
Really, you think so? I don't think I quantum leap yet.
Oh no, you quantum leap, because before your content, was a, I'm saying this I want to say in a more like a diplomatically correct way.
No, it's good. You can. Hey, this I talk great. You can say whatever. Talk to me straight, Dr. Thomas.
So your content before was more like a street type.
It was ratchet. It was ratchet.
So the other person, I don't want to use the word. Okay, that's it. It was like the hours. It was. So. But then you go from there, and I see you in a space now where the elevated conversation, the content, your verbiage, so your verbiage now can survive the street and survive the corporate boardroom. Okay. So which means that you're spreading out, tremendously, which means your ability and opportunity to make money is going to be tremendous, because the value you bring is no longer limited to a sector anymore. Okay. Value is money. Yeah. Money is value.
Yes. So. Yes.
Hey, what's the name of this show?
I Talk Great.
I Talk Great.
Are you ready to take your podcast to the next level? Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, the AV Club is the perfect place to bring your vision to life. The space is designed for creators like you, with high-quality cameras, microphones to ensure your podcast sounds amazing every time. Plus, our environment makes it easy to focus and feel at home while you record. From solo recordings to group sessions, we've got you covered with flexible booking options. So go ahead and visit www.theavclubstudios.com to schedule your session now. The AV Club Studios, where your voice gets heard. Let them know Mr. Williams from the I Talk Great podcast said so. Yeah. Oh man, we just started jumping in. I ain't even do the introduction. I gotta edify you. I'm gonna try. Y'all already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, where we talk about the great areas of business and life, because it's never just black and white. I have a heavy hitter in the building. Yes, hold on. We got to bring him in here. Hey, Dr. Kehinde Thomas.
Yes.
You got to put the doctor there. I remember when I first came in, and I said, okay, Kehinde Thomas. And Miss Ellie was like, Dr. Thomas.
She would do that?
Yeah, she was like,
do that.
You have to put the doctor, because that could be, any man. You can't just say Kehinde. You have to put the respect on it.
Yeah, she would do that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, my bad. You know what I'm saying? So, Dr. Thomas, how are you doing?
Listen, I am absolutely doing phenomenal. Always,
Yes, phenomenal,
always.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I believe like life is energy. Energy is life.
Yes.
So all the time, it doesn't matter what time it is. It's always phenomenal.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? What about when issues kind of effed up?
You say know how they say life be lifing?
Yeah.
It's true. However, you say life itself is an illusion.
Okay. He going into the talk now.
Yes.
Okay.
Why I say it's an illusion is because literally you an abstract of whatever it is you want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
So when stuff happens, negative stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or struggles or challenges or obstacles or whatever you may call it,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes up, it is not what happened. It is your reaction and your perception to what happens.
Mm.
So even when things are bad, quote and unquote,
Mm-hmm.
in anything that is bad, there's always a gift within that bad thing. So what happens is the average person that's bad, they talk about it, they whine and complain about it,
Mm-hmm.
they attract more of it.
Uh-huh.
But then people who are a little more, they live more elevated, enlightened life,
Mm-hmm.
they don't dwell on what they consider bad.
Okay.
Because within the bad, they're looking for exactly that gift within the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why they do life differently. And that's why they propel, they elevate, they're enlightened, and they make all the money in the world, they make all the decisions. And
Yes.
everybody just follow them. So it's not like things doesn't happen. It's just your perception of it.
Yes. No. I totally believe that. I believe a lot of people stay in the state of to me, like this is happening to me, not necessarily for me.
There you go.
But I did some due diligence, right?
Yes.
Following your story.
Yes.
And I saw something where you were speaking about you had to walk to school with no shoes on.
Yes.
So what do you think good came out of that for you?
Okay. So let me kind of rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Because, not just for the audience. Like if you
Yes. I'm over here talking like I already know him.
Yes.
Yes. For the audience, go ahead.
For the audience, so they can understand it. So I grew up, in Nigeria.
Okay.
As a kid. So my dad passed away when I was 7 years old. So mom has to raise like 8 children.
Mm-hmm.
Translation. I went to a period of my life where 3 meals a day was a struggle, holding my shoes as a kid, walking about 3 to 5 miles, literally like one way to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
Without shoes, by the way, okay? And that experience, when I say, but my God, that's rough. What good came out of it?
Mm-hmm.
The person that I am today was as a result of me going through that experience, because that experience taught me one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That abject poverty is no fun.
Okay.
So which means I have, an innate narrative to want to win so bad. So it caused me to work harder because I didn't want to live that life anymore. So it propels me, to win in life because I don't want to be poor.
Mm-hmm.
So because being poor and being rich are 2 different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so, having that experience early taught me that I didn't have to stay there. So it made me who I am today. So the goal is I became a better man, financially doing well.
But what did you
family.
see? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. What did you see to show you that it could be a better life for you?
Oh, but you mean when I was going through the experience?
Yeah.
Or you mean, let me just be sure I understand the question. Like, are you saying like when it was happening to me?
Yes, like what was that moment like when you said, okay, you know what, I'm going through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you saw something else that showed you that you can't have a better life? Because you have some people where they just figure, this is my life, because they don't see anything else. Like some people, they in the hood, they never saw anything outside of the hood. This is all we know.
That's a phenomenal question. Phenomenal question. All right, let me pull back a little, okay? You see, growing up in my little town, in every town, somebody is considered to be rich, and then you are the rich side and you are the poor side in every little town you go to. So there is some side, of my hometown where, a few people that have money to their name, to their names, where they live. So on Sunday, everybody will go to church. So when you go to church, you see the Mercedes, you see all this stuff. You're like, damn, you don't even have a car. You know, you have nothing. So you kind of admire these people. When the church is over, people go their separate ways. So the one with that money go to their side. Those with that money move to their side. Everybody goes out. I'm like, what will it be like one day to grow up, have a Mercedes like these people, be able to live the life that they live financially? So as a kid, I will watch that, you know. Okay. So I was able to see something that was like, okay, this is an inspiration now.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting. What inspired me then, you know, see their levels to the game. So those people I thought were rich back then because they were in Mercedes. When this today, when I look at them, it's like, to me today now they'll be like poor to me. But But then it was like my world. So I was able to see, you know, comparatively, the difference between, and the church was the reconciling place where everybody came to. So that gave you access.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered about that, right? Because like, what would make people always just stay in the same predicament? And I would feel like, okay, because maybe they didn't see anything.
Not really.
No.
There is a science behind it. Either, you know, metaphysics or you know, quantum physics or even in the realm of psychology. That is this: our brain is wired, you know, to repeat the same habit, because the brain, you know, always look for something we call self-preservation. That's what that's what the brain will do. So the brain is like, just imagine a human being, and I drove a car here. I didn't have to look at how many things I have to do to drive a car. You know, I have to get in the car, I have to open the door, I have to do all this stuff, I have to, you know, start the engine, then I have to do this, look at the mirror, pull back, drive. I can't even count how many activities, but you do it without even thinking, because the brain is on autopilot.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring that back to why people do the same thing. So the brain automatically stays in an autopilot mode for your routine. So therefore, if you are in an environment that is not so healthy for you, but you accepted that environment, your brain goes into a routine. So those kind of people will just naturally settle until somebody reaches out to them, cause them to think differently, expose them to something different. A routine, a class, a conversation, a YouTube, you know, a Reels, you know, IG, something, you know, a course, but something happened. Or what just happened here? Then you disturb the neuron systems. So your neurons like, oh, what are you doing? So it begins to rewire itself. So we call that neuroplasticity, also known as the brain plasticity. So the brain has the ability to actually change. So at that level, now new habits now can start forming. And so when people are just organically relaxed, and whatever the case may be, it's because nothing has gotten to them to disturb them, to allow their brain to think outside of themselves. And that's the reason why Einstein says it the best: you can never resolve an issue or a problem at the same level in which the problem exists. You have to go outside, collaborate outside the problem to see that.
Damn, that's bars. I drop a bar.
What would you say? So that's why. So if you see them in a routine, then there's somebody like me and you, you know, podcast, I talk great, listen to content that say, oh, damn, you know, this makes sense. Let me do a little more research. Let me get better at this. And then just naturally, you know, they start, you know, charting a different path, and then they can move on, you know, to a good space.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. So walk us through. You left, when you left Nigeria, right? And where did you go from there?
Okay, so the first I left Nigeria and I came straight to United States. So I went to a school called the K University in Pittsburg, Pennsylvania, you know. And I was just talking to Claudette downstairs about, you know, where to go to school, et cetera, et cetera. So I went to that space, you know, and then doing school because we're all about formal education, you know, because, I mean, that was a big growing up. It's like, oh, my God, you have to have a degree. You have to. So that thing was kind of like drilled, you know, like into us. So I go there, you know, to do care as an exchange student because I was going to actually originally be a Catholic priest.
Really?
And that's correct.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so I was in the seminary. Yeah, that's correct. So I was going to be a Catholic priest.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
A priest?
a priest, yeah.
So that mean you was gonna
Not
be
get
willing?
married, no kids, none of those things.
No sex for you
No
ever?
sex forever.
Wow.
That was the chat. That was where I was going.
What led to that though?
What led to that? Because I mean, growing up as a kid, you know, like I watch a lot of people around me who actually end up becoming priests, you know, and I have a lot of respect for them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I like that life,
Okay.
you know. So the life of being in the church, of praying and worshiping, and so on. So it was an attracting life for me. So I was prepared to sacrifice and do whatever it takes to live that life.
Wow. Okay.
So that was what I was going for, at least I thought.
yeah.
You know, and then I came to the States, and people say, wow, what happened? The States changed you?
America will do that.
I know, America changed you? And so it's kind of very funny.
Yeah.
But it actually was more than that. You know, it was, I came in, and what really changed was not even about the lust of the body or, you know, sex or any of those things. It was more about, you know, the ability to be able to take care of my mom, because something interesting happened at the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom was getting evicted because normally in my traditional culture, when you have a house, it stays with you forever. It's a forever thing.
Okay.
You know, but the dad side and the mom side never really got along. So when that passed, mom was basically on her own. So she had to go rent. That's almost unheard of. You know, it's completely unheard of. Anyway, growing up, today's different now, but I'm talking growing up. So
Yeah.
So what happened therefore I went was this, you know, after Mom was getting evicted and I saw her crying, I'm crying, and I said, Mom, I promise you, I'm going to build you a house. That was a promise I gave. And so me staying, you know, in the priesthood, and the vows I had to take,
Yeah.
one of the vows would not permit me to be able to build a house for my mom. It just, the permission was not going to be there. So
Okay.
I couldn't not deliver on that. So that was one of the biggest reasons, believe it or not, that caused me to say, okay, you know what, I have to chart a different path, different path than I did, you know.
Wow.
So that was that side, you know, of being going to be a priest. I have a very interesting life because between going to be a priest and then from there dabble into the world of football, you know, I'm talking American football.
Using NFL?
Yeah, so I go in, you know, to the Pittsburg Steelers.
What year is this?
This is by 1995.
1995.
So I go in, you know, and they have what we call an open tryout.
Okay.
So I go in for an open tryout. And I was invited by a guy by the name Tom Odrak. He used to be the football director of operations for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because of my soccer background, so I go to, you know, to try out as a punter or potentially a kicker.
Okay.
And surprisingly, things were looking absolutely solid, you know, to my surprise. You know what's crazy about this? At the time when all of this was happening so rapidly, I didn't even know the rules of the game.
What? So you wasn't a fan of football, nothing like that?
I didn't really know the rules of the game. I know I like football.
Yeah.
I know how football is played, but at the time I really didn't fully comprehend American football yet. But I know it wasn't going to be a problem because somebody just had to spend some time with you, you know, whatever you need to know about the game.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, boom, let's go for this. And for me, I was just going to go in, you know, to play and make money and build a house for my mom. So there was a purpose to it. And then, but as God will have it, you know, just like as things were about to happen, you know, on a very good note.
Yes.
You know, I hyperextended my knee. They're taking me out of the field. I don't have a contract.
Damn.
Could you imagine how painful that was? So when I realized this is taking place, I said to myself, you know what? What I can't do with my body, I'm going to do with my brain.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go make money with my brain.
Okay.
So I then made it 360. So I actually had a call. You know, my tape was sent to Cincinnati Bengals. It was sent to Washington Redskins. At the time, the expansion team, North Carolina Panthers, were just getting expanded. So and I got a call from Cincinnati. I got a call from Redskins, multiple. But at this point, I'm like, no way. I'm going to just use my brain. So I got involved in the world of insurance.
But how long did it take you to recover from your injury?
No, I was out. Literally, I was out for I was out for slightly over a month. And I just, that period is okay, full force insurance.
So there was no way you could get back in?
Oh, no, they called me. Oh, I could have gone back in, for sure. Absolutely.
So what made you say, hey, let me not go for the sports?
Because my wife then says to me, that's my ex-wife says to me, listen, you have a degree. You are okay, intellectually.
Yeah.
Why don't you just pursue another avenue where you can just use your mind and your brain to make money?
Yeah.
And that really appealed to me tremendously.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, because first of all, I didn't enjoy being hit. But I want to be
really?
a tough
As big
guy.
as you kind of, whoa.
I know, but I didn't want to be hit. You know what I mean? I didn't enjoy being hit at all.
Okay.
So I'm like, what the heck? Going soccer, nobody's coming to just hit you,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was different for me, and then I'm holding the ball, and man, these mofos, they come like bam, like just to kick the ball out of your hand, like with a big punch, like. Sometimes somebody will miss the ball, they hit your hand so hard. It's like, jeez. So it's like, no, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
So that even though I love the game, I wasn't prepared to put my body through.
Put your body through that. Okay.
So there was a combination of multiple things, like what I was thinking, the words that my then wife was talking to me about, combined together with the opportunity of insurance. It was just a perfect storm that came together at the perfect time for me to make the transition. Yeah.
Okay. So, leaving football, getting into insurance.
Yes.
Whew. All right. Do you think you were ready for that shift?
To make the shift to the insurance space?
Yeah.
You see, what I learned is this, that when an opportunity comes, it comes in a disguise majority of the time. It's not about your readiness. It's your ability to capture the moment. So,
bars.
Yeah, so I knew that even though I know nothing about insurance, and I'm not a salesman, never sold anything, never owned a business, none of those things. So don't forget, I was prepped to pray in the seminary.
Yes. Okay.
Then I'm going now into the world of football at another end. Then all of a sudden now, finance. So everything happened so rapidly.
Yeah.
That there was nothing called readiness. It was just, okay, you know what? If this is the way to go make money, help a ton of people, bring value to them, change lives, let's do it. Because what I can do, in the church as a priest, now I can do financially. So it's a form of pastoring, but it's a financial pastoring.
The financial pastor. I like that.
That was how my brain processed it.
Okay.
And then my spirit accepted it.
Yeah.
So I ran with it.
Okay. So did you ever had to send around a collection plate?
You mean like...
No, I'm just messing.
That's in the church.
Yeah.
That's the collection place where you're like, okay, you have to pray, you have to tithe and all kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Insurance was just a natural for me because my dad passed away without insurance. So I know what's like, to be at the short end of the stick when it comes to insurance. And I just don't want anybody to experience that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually have something within me.
So you went through that process.
Exactly.
Okay, so you was I can't say a product of the product because you didn't have the product.
No, but I still am a product of the product because you could be a product of the product in two ways. Either on the positive end of it or the negative side of it. Either way, you still come out as a product. So mine is the other side of it. Not having it, and I have to go through the pain. And that's not the pain you want for anybody else.
No, of course.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So for me, it just makes sense because I saw that people, that got paid, and it was like, wow.
So insurance, right?
Yes.
When you first got in, did you automatically know about PHP, or were you with another company before?
So I was a different company. The
Okay.
company I was with, my previous company, I just accidentally stumbled into them because I went to the career services center of my university.
Okay.
And they had posted an ad at the university over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in. There was a gentleman, I think his name is Jim, God bless him. I just see him now momentarily as I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
My brain traveled there. This Caucasian gentleman, he was working with me, trying to find me a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, you need to respond to this. So I responded to it. The next thing I knew, I was going to an African restaurant. I had a cast, from the, injury.
Okay.
And then I saw another lady, who is a nurse, not even in the business. And then she says, why don't you try out insurance? I'm like, so Career Services Center was pointing to insurance. The lady, Margaret, is talking about insurance. I'm like, hold on a second. And then she pointed to cars and said, look at these cars. You will laugh at this. By the time, like Toyota Avalon, this guy's like, this is the Mercedes-Benz. I'm like, my God, these people are rich.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my mindset. Then I'm like, this is good. If you're making money, I can buy these cars. I can get in there. I can make money and build a house for my mom. So I then got involved. Then I was with them for 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was a W-2. So almost as an employee. With them, and then and I literally built millions and millions of dollars for them. So just essentially, I was running the full business because. I have to find talent. I have to recruit talent. I have to develop them. Then I have to turn them to workforce. All of this stuff. The only difference is I was using essentially their credit cards, their money. But I thought I was great. You think you're the king of the hill because you're surrounded by people. You're making more money then, so you're feeling good. It's like one of those things called the Maxwell called the law of the lead. So it's like okay. Yeah. Then until I got a strange call. From a guy who had left the company, but I never knew, but he was my boss. He left. Then he called me and said, can you check out this company called PHP? Oh, really? What's that? When I hear people helping people, I'm like, is that a church? No.
People helping people.
Yeah, I'm like, that's an insurance company. I'm like, what insurance company is going to name themselves people helping people? Yeah. You hear Prudential, you hear this, Nationwide, John Hank. I'm like, okay. But I go and then I met this guy. I flew to California. I met Patrick Bet-David. I was just shocked because the way he spoke and the way he was conducting the whole entire interview, his language, and everything. I'm like, this is a movement I have to be part of. So it wasn't much more about I'm sold to the insurance industry with PHP. It was like, this is a movement I want to be part of. Yeah. So I got in, and the rest has been history. Blessed and worked my way all the way through all, chairman, and so it's been an amazing opportunity. Yeah, and I capitalize on it.
Chairman's council in the building. We got to drop another bomb for that, man. Man. Yes. Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, and you got a story to tell? You want to get your brand out there to the world? Well, you reached the right place. Let's set up an exclusive interview between me and you. I Talk Gray, and we're going to go ahead and get your brand out there to the world. But here what you do. Go ahead and send me an email with the words Gray at italkgraymedia@gmail.com. See you soon. I totally agree with you. You know, when I got introduced to the space, I was actually at PBD, the podcast. Not on it, but I was doing a tour of the space. Okay. And I'm like, wow, this man has 2 floors. He got a whole customer service team. So in my mind, like what you said, the law of the lead, I'm thinking I'm the man in podcasting, but just in this area. So, I go here, I'm like,
what's going on?
I got lots of work to do.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I do believe, frequency is real. Yeah, it is. Because as I was walking up, he was in a conference meeting. Okay. And I didn't get to actually meet him and touch him. Okay. But I don't think I was ready. I didn't have the language. I wouldn't have known what to do
if you had met him.
If I did meet him. I probably would have been on some groupie-ish, like, yo, can I get a pic? Like, yo, da-da-da-da.
That's a powerful point you just made.
Yeah. Now that I'm so more versed in, personal development,
Correct.
Thanks to you and things like that.
You're welcome.
I know that it wasn't the right time.
That's powerful point.
You know, so do you ever feel like you experienced that, like where maybe you wasn't ready to meet someone, but then you had to grow first, and then y'all frequency was able to bring y'all together?
I can say this. I think if I said that, I probably will not be honest.
Okay.
Because what you just did right there is you were able to see a problem in a way that most people couldn't see a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to recognize the fact that, you were not prepared already for that moment.
Yeah.
It's in my brain. I wouldn't even recognize that. I would have just go whatever the flow is. Because I'm very action oriented. I wouldn't even be thinking anything.
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting about it. Vibrational frequencies is real. Mm-hmm. It's very, very real. So in quantum physics, there's something we call energy. There's something we call vibration. There's something we call quantum entanglement, and there's something we call quantum mechanics.
Okay.
Even quantum leap. These are, just put all these things aside, but these are all concepts that are pretty much interrelated. Mm-hmm. But in the space of vibrational, which is frequencies in this case. Mm-hmm. So it's the fact that if I vibrate, I give up a certain amount, of energy that I give out. Mm-hmm. That energy is not wasted. So the energy, it's in space, in time, and in the universe. Mm-hmm. So it looks for a similar energy to attach to. Mm-hmm. Sometimes even the consciousness in which you release the energy, even the emotions at which you release the energy, they stay intact with that energy. Mm. So when it then collides, like a collision of some sort, with another energy of similar nature, then we talk about like attract likes.
Yeah.
So the vibrational frequency in this case is so real because when you give that energy, you get that energy back.
Yes.
This is the reason why, you're in a place sometimes like, I just don't know the vibe here. I don't like the vibe here.
Yes, yes.
And then you leave. That means that the vibration does not match your vibration. Or you're going to a place like, I don't know what to say, man. This place is unbelievable. It's so beautiful. That's a vibrational match.
Yeah.
It is very, very, we experience this on a daily basis. It's very, very real. And sometimes you can actually apply the law of intentionality to vibration, where you are the one that you are organically determining the level of your vibration, and then you move the vibration according to your own momentum, and then you live. This is kind of crazy. You design the kind of life that you live by using vibration, harnessing the power of vibration to your ultimate goal. There are people who live their life exactly like that. They came from nothing and they become a hero by simply understanding the basic laws of the universe.
Wow.
It's kind of deep for those who spend time there.
Yeah, no. It really is. So, seeing that you're in the life insurance space, right?
Yes.
Did you always have a thought process? Because, most people when they hear life insurance, they think, okay, you could only benefit from it when you die, right? Or when you transition.
Yeah.
So did you always have that mindset? Like, how long did it take you, or did you see it from the space where you could profit from it while you're alive?
Okay. You see, most people, when they approach the subject of insurance, they approach it specifically from the angle like, I have insurance. If I die, it goes to my beneficiary. That's it. So they don't see it as something tangible that they can use. They think it's something that their survivors can use, but not them.
Yes.
So because human being by nature, we're selfish, so we don't really care too much about what I can't use, because I want to be able to use it.
Yes.
So if I have to do something for somebody else to use, it's not necessarily in congruence with a typical human nature. Because of that, coupled with the whole concept of mortality, that one day you're being reminded that you're going to die.
Yes.
Which people are not kind of cool with that. Could you imagine we're here on the podcast, we're having a good time, Amaya here, we're laughing, we're chatting, and then somebody says, oh, let me remind you that you're dying one day. Come on now. It's like, that's not cool. So when you combine mortality, the reminder, there is there's a psychological term call it's like an opposite reality. It will come back to me again. But when you cognitive dissonance is called.
Okay. Cognitive dissonance.
Yes, they break the word down. Meaning cognitive is cognition, to recognize. Dissonance is opposite of consonance. So combined together is cognitive dissonance, means a recognition of something that is opposite. In a layman's term. So insurance causes that. So now you enjoy your life, and insurance agent said, sorry, one day you're going to die. Then you don't have peace.
Yeah.
So in a religious sense, when somebody commits a sin, they have no peace, for those who are really religious. So an agent reminds the average person that they're going to die, then they have no peace. So if you're a good husband, if you're a good provider, if you're a good wife, whatever, you're seeking to resolve that. So that's how we understand insurance.
Yes.
Okay. However, there's an elevated understanding of insurance that the rich people understand. They've been doing it for a while. So for me, when I got in, I just wanted to understand everything to subject insurance.
Okay.
Because I pride knowing as a gift and as a value. Because I know if I'm going to make money, I have to really appreciate value proposition.
Yes.
So when I delve into something, I want to know as much as I can know about that thing. So I knew right away there were other opportunities you could use insurance for. That you could grow cash value, you could take money out, you could use it, for college funding, as opposed to using the traditional 529 plans. That it's very tax coded.
Yes.
I know that you could use insurance, to actually buy a house, because you could take money out, from the cash value, cash value, you could buy a house. I know you could use it for retirement, life insurance retirement plan. I know you could use it as BYOB, be your own bank. I know you could use the concept of infinite banking. I know you could use it for debt solutions, where instead of paying high interest rates, on all the debt or credit card, whatever the case might be, you could use your cash value and you could pay your debts off, but it's using your own money to pay debt off, servicing your loan using your own cash, instead of having to pay somebody else the fees and the interest and so on and so forth. So all of these concepts I'm a little bit familiar with. I delve into it.
Okay.
So when I approach insurance like a holistic approach. So I didn't just approach it like approach. Correct. It's not like, by the way, if you just die.
Yeah.
So what was tough for me was, going into my own communities, African Americans, and they're the one that buy the most insurance. Actually, if you Google that, they buy more insurance than any other ethnic group, but they buy the wrong type. So they buy the funeral type, final expense type, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 25,000. But let me tell you how ugly this could be. A lot of these guys pay as much as buying a regular, ordinary type insurance. That instead of 15,000, 25,000, you could go get 100, 200, 250, 500,000 for the same premium. But they're not exposed to that.
Yeah. Yes.
So grandmom had final expense, parents have final expense, children have final expense. So what I did is I want to bring the education to the community.
Yes.
So I go into the space of using insurance from a more diversified approach. And as a result, the contribution and the impact I believe they were making because of that approach has been a phenomenal impact. So it was a different angle. So for me, day one, I was really obsessed.
Okay.
I was very, very obsessed about making sure that people really understand the concept of insurance.
Yes. No, I definitely believe that we have to start educating ourselves more about that. What do you think about Dave Ramsey and his mindset when it comes to buy term and invest the rest, or invest in mutual funds, and you should just get a term policy, and that IULs is trash and all that?
Let's say every man to its own, because the truth about it is this, okay? I'd love to debate him any given day. So the Ramsey,
let's set that up.
If you're listening to me right now, I would love to have a very honest, candid debate. I would love to. Here's my take, okay? There is no one insurance that is a fit-all for everybody. None.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. we're all different. Our finances are different.
Yes.
So it's like me walking around and say, I want to have your shirt size for every man, every woman, every child, every grandparent. It makes no sense.
Yes.
Some people are bigger, some are smaller, some are this, taller, this, that. It makes no sense. So financially, I can just say, oh my God, everybody needs term. No. So the concept for me, is everybody needs to have a personalized type of insurance that suits, I call it suitability, that suits their own financial needs. So a term is good. If I am buying a house, for example, and I need a term mortgage to protect the house for 15 years or 30 years or whatever. So if I die, then the house is paid off in the interim. Or I have young children, and I'm just starting out. I don't have enough money. So, I need a large volume of insurance. So if I die before the kids are 18 or 21 years old, I'm going to be sure, okay, there's enough money for my spouse to take care of them. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I can't say I'm going to have a term forever. So the concept is this. Let's buy term. Let's invest the difference in the market so that by the time you're 45, 50, 60, 65, 70, you're a millionaire. So you wouldn't even need insurance anymore. So when the term expires, you could just let it go. That's the concept.
Yes.
But I have 3 questions. Question number 1 is this. Is anybody in Nostradamus right here that you can predict the future? So how do you know I'm going to have so much money when I'm older?
Yeah.
Follow me, that's number 1.
Yeah.
The second concept is, how do you know that the interest rate is going to be so good that I'm going to make so much money that regardless, seriously, you don't know that. What if an event occurred and wiped everything all out? You had COVID, anything could happen, anything strange.
Yes.
Okay, that's the second, okay? And then the third thing, what to consider is, most people when they get to that age, like you're 60, you're 70, you're 80, let's call it what it is. For them, at that point in time, when they're ready to transition, they're looking at for their legacies. And a lot of people don't have enough money to show for that. So life insurance become the biggest thing that they have, that's an estate for them. So when they die, they instantly create an estate, a legacy. So guess what I just did now if I just sold term, and term only. For a certain percentage, it might work out because they invested very smartly in market conditions favor them, and that's okay, but that's a very small percentage. How many people get paid on that term? Less than 3%. Because most people outlive the term, or they can afford the premium when they're older.
Yes.
However, now, let's convert that now to a permanent policy, for example.
Yeah.
I'm not talking your regular whole life. If you do something we call an indexed universal life, that allow your money to work better for you. You participate in the gains in the market. By your money is not directly in the market, but what it does is it mirrors and mimic the performance of the market, primarily tied to something we call S&P 500.
Okay.
So when market goes up, you participate in the gains, in the mirroring. When the market goes down, you don't lose anything because you have a stop loss. So in other words, you have a floor that says maybe 0 or 1%. Okay. So you're never going to have anything negative against your account. That concept put a lot of people in a situation where they actually grow money in their account. That concept, also allow people to have, which is one of the biggest issue, with the Ramsey, whole life is trash value. But now you have new policies with option B, increasing that benefit option, that allow your cash to be yours. So if you were to die, you never use the money, that money plus your life insurance is returned back to your beneficiary. So it defeats the whole entire, concept of, oh my God, whole life sucks. Whole life cash value is trash value.
Yeah.
Now, IUL cash value is now called grace value.
So you can keep your cash value because I was hearing him say something about that once you transition, the cash value goes to the insurance company.
That is on the typical whole life. So that your typical, there are 3 types of insurance essentially. That's what we call a term policy. That's like you're renting an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. You can't go to the landlord and say, I want to take out equity. That's a term.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, you have to renew your lease, then it go up, or it goes up when the premium. So that's typical. You're renting. Then
Okay.
you have a whole life. So a whole life is like, look at it like you own the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's whole life. So if you have a house and you took out equity from the house, it's called HELOC, for example, home equity line of credit.
Yes.
You have to pay it back. Because if you don't pay it back, they can still foreclose the house.
Mm-hmm.
Or better still, you pay off your house. What if you don't pay your taxes? They can still foreclose your house.
Mm-hmm.
The city can foreclose your house. So do you really own the house? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So that's your whole life. And that's why they bash you so much. Now, with the equity index universal life, it's a different ballgame. So how about you now own the house? If you needed money, you took out the money. But guess what? Your house is not in jeopardy of foreclosure. Think about that for a second. And then that house belongs to you. You actually own it. So that's what an indexed universal life. That's the most simplistic real estate term. I can explain it for the audience to grasp.
Yeah.
That is your equity index universal life right there. So
How soon can somebody take out the money, though?
it depends how you fund it.
Okay.
Because this is not your traditional understanding of insurance. The more money you put into it, the better it's going to be for you. For example, I have people that will, instead of simply contributing like $500 a month into the insurance, they may even do $2,000 a month.
Oh, really?
That's correct. So that $1,500 extra is just sitting in there, and you get a 6, 7, or 8%, even 9% interest on it.
Really?
So,
9% interest rate?
Of course, it's better than the banks.
Well, yeah. Okay.
It's better than your traditional. So there are a lot of people who are actually using it. I just got a lady that called me up, Lynette, and says, listen, I got a letter. I said, what's the letter about? She says, they said that I'm overfunding my policy. And because she's overfunding it, it might cause something we call a MEC. MEC stands for Modified Endowment Contract.
Okay.
That the government may no longer treat the policy as a life insurance policy. They may treat it as an investment. I'm like, you got a good problem.
Yeah.
People are talking about not having money. Your
Yeah.
policy is doing so well to the
Yeah.
point that you're making so much money in my neck.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry, I'll fix this for you. So now I put a strategy in place, to not incur MEC, and still be able to have the cash value and still use it tax-free. You see, let me just say something about this so the audience can understand this.
Hold on. When you borrow the money, it's tax-free?
Yeah, because a loan is not a taxable incidence under the law. So you can go buy a house, there is no tax on your loan. You can go buy this, there's no tax on the, so a loan itself is not a taxable event under the law. So what happens is it's a gift in the life insurance. It's a gift that keeps giving in the life insurance. So under what we call Section 7702 Internal Revenue Code, it treats life insurance and it defines actually what a life insurance is. You have Section A and Section B of the 7702.
Okay.
But if you took some time just, for the audience to go back and research this,
Yes.
you will see that a lot of people use it very craftfully like an investment. Although it's not an investment, but they use it like that. So I pump a lot of money into it. It grows. I have a large sum of money in it. Then guess what I do? I take the money out as a loan. So basically, I'm borrowing my own money, but then there's no taxes at all. So imagine if I end up in a 30-year period accumulating $500,000, for example. Let's just say out of my pocket, I put in $150,000. That will be considered what we call my basis, which is after tax dollar I put in there. Then I gain $350K. Could you imagine me walking away with this full $500,000 without any taxes at all?
Wow.
So because I can take it as a loan.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy about it? I can actually take it as a loan. I don't pay back.
So you don't got to pay it back?
It's my money. It's not like the whole life.
Okay.
Although we encourage you to put some money back into it so the policy can perform very well for you.
Okay.
But if you strategize it, you can actually go to the point where you no longer pay anything back because you design it exclusively to stop paying premium at a certain age. And at that age, there's no more payment.
Okay.
And then you could take your money out and you could live your life comfortably without having to pay any taxes. and just maintain the minimum coverage for your policy. So you can reduce the policy. That's what's powerful. It gives you flexibility. So you are allowed to increase or decrease the face amount. You are allowed to increase or decrease the cash value. If people only know how powerful insurance can be.
No, yeah.
And they understand that from your JC Penney, James Cash Penny, using life insurance for their stuff, okay? Like for JC Penney, for payroll and everything. If they understand how the McDonald's brothers, how they use that, again, life insurance. If you understand how the Rockefellers with the Waterford method use life insurance to perpetuate wealth, or even the Happy Place, okay? This is, what's the name? Mickey,
Disneyland.
Disney, okay? Yeah. So how they use that, are you following me? So if the wealthy people are using this, and they're so good at this, why is it that somebody who doesn't even have enough money, why shouldn't they take advantage of that?
Yeah, no, you're so right. I think it's the language, and people are just afraid of what they don't know. I was reading something from Patrick Bet-David, and he actually was the one that showed me that Walt Disney and Ray Kroc were actually friends.
There you go.
They were buddies working in an ambulance business. So I think also with who you associate with is so important. So like with you, right?
Yes.
Who's in your circle? Because, seeing the level of where you're at,
okay.
I know you're not just hanging out with any old Joe Smo.
Your environment will define you.
Yes.
100%. But the decisions you make defines you more than your environment. However, here's a trick though. Most people can make sound decisions, in a nasty environment.
Really? You think so?
No. The only reason why sound decision comes in a very nasty environment is because somebody reached out to you, pulled you out of that nasty environment to make you see bigger. And that somebody could be a book you read, a course you took, a mentor that came from somewhere else into the hood, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Now, watch this. I'm a big believer that it is extremely important to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Like everybody needs 4 people in their life. East, west, north, and south. And everyone plays a special role in your life.
Yes.
Somebody has to take care of your finance. Somebody take care of your spiritual. Somebody take care of your mental, and somebody take care of your health. But everybody needs that 4.
Yes.
I'm just so lucky and so blessed, that, I call him the God himself, Patrick Bet-David. Literally, we're texting back and forth all day today. Him, my wife, I'm just very grateful, to have such a person in your life. When you look at someone you watch him build a business, literally, hundreds of millions of dollars. Then he goes to build another business. He have more than 7 businesses. This is what the Lionsgate is, almost $1 billion guy. It's just that alone, to me, incredible. So then, of course, I have a lot of people in the world of sports, and around me. Then you see, over the weekend I was in Atlanta, Veridian University.
Okay.
And I met a bunch of people there, the founders, they probably will see this podcast. I'm actually going to, when it's out, let me know so I can send it to them. So you have Dr. Naike, you have Dr. Moshi. They are co-founders of Veridian University, in ATL. And by the way, shout out to them. They just invited me to become an advisory member, board, board member for the university. So, which I'm grateful for, and I accepted it, with grace from a very humble place.
So you're gonna be teaching again?
No. Advisory, advisory meaning like everything going on within the university.
Oh, okay.
So you can help them with making decisions. For the student, the faculty, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Contribute, in that capacity. So, you got that going, and it's the idea. the idea is this, and also have my spiritual life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pastor, the church, etc. You know, and I have a lot of friends who are even Catholic priests today.
Okay.
Like I make it a mandatory activity on my part to make sure I sort out people that I like their life, not just because of wealth, because money is only one piece of it.
Yes.
You know, I watch their marriage, how they treat their spouse, you know, their children, you know, how they take care of their health, you know, like all the four corners, okay, of like the people you're supposed to have in your life. I watch them. Anyone that have a golf score, in the sense that they, you know, they have a balanced act of all of those, they inspire me. I saw them out. I reach out to them. I want them in my corner, you know. So that's kind of like how I pick.
Okay.
So I'm a very, very, I'm just very fortunate in that capacity, you know, and I make a mission to stay elevated, you know, and to keep moving. And there's a bunch of friends I have now, or acquaintance, but they're going to be friends that I'm studying them now. I like what I'm seeing from the external. The more I get to know them, the more I'm going to welcome them into my life.
Yes.
You know, because, you know, these are people who are contributing net positive to society. And I like that around me too.
Yeah. No, I saw a quote. I don't know. I might be messing it up. It was saying it's better to build a business with. It's better to get a friendship out of a business partner than to build your business with a friend.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
I don't know how to take that, because I think it's a gift to have a friend that also you are able to build with. I think it's a gift, because trust is one of the biggest things to come by in business. It's very hard to find. And I think when you find one, it's special. And typically a friend, you know, by definition should be someone that you should be able to trust.
Yeah, it should be.
Correct. It should be. So if you could build with a friend, to me, I think is the ultimate. However, if you came out of business with a friend, then I think you have a package.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, what do I think of that? I just think it depends how you process it. You know. I depend how you process it. If I have a good friend I go into business with, I'm cool with that.
Yes.
You know, because that it will make you advance faster. Because you don't have to worry too much about the human nature of who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Just because your friendship would have revealed that to you.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what I think about that.
Yeah. Because I just feel like, all right, even when I entered this space,
yes,
you know, going from one level to the next.
Okay.
Not everybody next to you might be ready to make that shift.
Of course.
So then at this point, we may not have anything to speak about. If I'm saying, yo, I got a book of the month, you know, who moved my cheese? And they looking at me like,
that's
what?
tough.
You talking about money? And I'm like, no, you know. Or I'm like, hey, man, I'm getting ready to invest some money to go to a big event conference because
like, what are you doing?
What you mean what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, why? Man, we about to go to King of Diamonds. So it's kind of like, all right, you might have to leave the people who you were so-called friends with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I saw you went to the Vault conference.
Yes.
Right? So at this stage of where you're at in the game, right, what made you say, hey, I still want to invest in myself? Or did Patrick say, hey, you know, we got you, you know, I know you since PHP, we're going to get you in? No?
Patrick doesn't run a backdoor business. His business is front door, meaning you have to go through the cashier. You know, you have to respect that a lot.
Yeah. So he didn't give you the hookup, the discount code?
No, you might get something like that, but you're never going to walk in there free.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, people who are very successful in life, they all run front door business.
Okay.
Now, I mean, front door in this case is definition of, you know, like everybody go through the cashier, whatever. So there's a morality, respect issue, and capitalism concept interwoven together. However, having said that, an apple that is green, you know, it's going to remain an appealing apple, aka when knowledge begin to be something that you're just still in search of, you forever remain green. So you're relevant in the marketplace. The moment you think you're there is the beginning of decay, you know. So personal development, it's a major priority. Like, I thrive on personal development. I love personal development. And so if you ever have to spare any change, I would say save it and use it for personal development, because the more you grow, the more money comes to you. You don't go looking for money. Money comes to you. Because if you're not money, value makes you money. So it kind of works like this. Say somebody's broke in the hood, but they spend so much time developing themselves. So when they speak the language of money. They act like money because their thought process is there. So they're in synchronicity. A guy from a different neighborhood with a lot of money, they have an account at the Starbucks. They had a quick talk. It's like, oh my God, listen, I need to run my project for me. Like, you are smart, Okay, not a problem. So guess what now? The guy with the money then invests in the guy without money. The two of them come together, ideation, funded by real cash. More money comes into both parties. So when you're not money, you can still make yourself money.
Yes.
That's one piece.
Yes.
But the reason I wanted to vote, is I realized that I have to continue to elevate my game.
Okay.
My reach is getting really wide now. I had a viral video that did 80 million in 4 different platforms, translated in multiple international languages.
Yeah.
So when you get to that point, you just imagine what your DMs look like.
Yeah.
Imagine what your IG notifications messages look like.
Yes.
Just think about that for a second.
Yes.
So now and then people are asking you all kind of questions, So you have to elevate your game, because when you have momentum behind you, you can't stop momentum. Then you become irrelevant. So the first thing is to attract momentum, maintain momentum, advance momentum, 3 stages. So my role is to make sure not only do I capture and maintain it, my role is to make sure that I advance it. So part of me advancing it is to continue to learn, to grow. So Vault was part of growing for me, and it was when I say an amazing experience, oh my God, it was to me, it was amazing experience.
I can imagine.
So I'm going to continue to personally develop.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to read. Today, I read a book today that I finished.
Really? What was the title?
It's called Get Rich Smart. That's
Smart.
That's the name of the book. I even did a reel on it today.
Okay.
I did a reel on it
that
today,
out.
and I also did a live on the YouTube today. And also on IG today. I make it a point of duty to read anywhere between 10 to 15 books a month.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. The whole book, or is this audio book?
It's a combination of both.
Okay.
If I can listen to it by audio, like when I'm working out, it's audio right there. Let's go. So bam, I do that. If I'm not working out, I grab a book. But I realized lately I've been doing more of the audio because of time constraints. But nevertheless, I want to keep. So my audio is getting so much in tune with retention. So now I'm developing that part of my sensory, to capture the information that I'm listening to, which is actually, it's a new form, of growth for me.
Yes.
In that I easily get distracted.
Yeah.
But now I realize that my auditory is getting sharper because I'm using that avenue more. So, but the idea is that I just want to grow, and I just want to be able to give back, to the world. And for me, part of my pastoring, or ministry, you see, some people are called to church to minister. Some people are called to volunteer on the street for the homeless. Some people, it's the breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
Everybody have their own calling. For me, part of giving back, is dedicating hours of financial literacy so that I can tilt the earth towards the heaven, through financial freedom. Because when you have financial freedom, then you can think for yourself. You can make the right choices. You're not in the survival mode. You are truly in a freedom operating mode.
Yes.
Which means that you can be yourself more, and then you can offer more.
Yeah.
And I just love that entire concept.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. What do you think about, this new iRobot, this Tesla bot? Do you think, life insurance agents are in jeopardy? Like, they might have Elon might have the Tesla bot selling life insurance.
Okay. Let me explain this very clearly. AI is such a beautiful thing. When I say beautiful thing, AI is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this from two perspectives. You know? People that have fear towards AI. Let me explain what I mean by that. Okay? Some people right now, they are so freaking scared of AI. And
Terminator.
Oh, yeah, because such people, they just think that AI is the worst thing that's going to happen. So such people...
But do you think it's that may be? Like, because I always say they show something in a movie first. Like, even when you see some of these commercials, it was one where I was watching where the car was driving the owner home, and the owner was like, we were supposed to go left. He was like, no, we're going to go right, Mr. John. So I feel like subtly they were showing you that they could think, or they will be able to on their own.
Okay. Let me spend a moment, and audience are going to love this.
Okay.
For you guys, audience, let me say this. The best thing you ever did, is you connecting with something we call I Talk Gray with Wayne. It's the best thing.
Hey. We had to drop a bomb on that.
It's the best thing. Let me explain exactly why I say that, okay? Because I want it to make so much sense to you guys. So now, we are now in the world officially of something we call artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's here.
It's already here to stay.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere. So there are two parts, to this puzzle. At the vault, Patrick Bet-David brought in a gentleman who actually spent time with Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name at the moment. But anyway, this guy, he spoke about AI. He says, whatever plan you have the next 5 to 10 years, just diz it. Why? He said, the world you know now is never going to be the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me address the two parts. Oh my God, AI is going to use your voice and they're going to scam you. Oh my God. Look at what they do with the music, plagiarism. But look at, oh my God,
Yeah.
oh my God. Okay.
They showed it in Bad Boys.
Okay, is that real? Yeah. But are you ready? If you're so fearful and you're in a perpetual state of mind and of fear of what AI is going to do, you're done. You're done because AI is the new electricity. So either you know it or not, it's here to stay. Now, watch this. On the other hand, some people are using AI as a tool for their business. Like you're going to Zoom now. Mm-hmm. They have AI support on Zoom now. Mm-hmm. AI is everywhere. I'm talking to you. I gave a speech. I'm like, you know what, AI, write me a speech for commencement ceremony. He gave me, write one for 30 minutes. Write one for 5. Like, in 2 minutes.
ChatGPT.
Can you give me this? Can you give me that? I'm like, what the heck? So I just went in there and I took a few things right there. I had a speech that the best speech writer couldn't have put together. Think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. You could ask me anything. They will give me the language model for it. Okay, so there are people who are going to convert AI to make money like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there are people that are going to be fearful of AI, they're going to be left behind. So the two parts, those who are afraid of using AI and those who are going to embrace AI. So one community is going to be a forgotten community, and the next community is going to be a community of abundance. That's the future for you, okay?
Yeah.
Now, watch this. We have what we call AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is more of a language model, specific task. In other words, I'm Tesla. I'm AI. I'm going to drive the car. Mm-hmm. Look at what's going on with Uber and all this Lyft and everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive the car. Mm-hmm. So those type of robot just perform one task. You can say, by the way, give me a shower. They can do that.
That's
by the way,
crazy.
they can do that. So because they are still one task-driven robot.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's the other one called AGI. Mm-hmm. AGI is artificial general intelligence. Mm-hmm. That's different. Artificial general intelligence is multitask. Mm-hmm. So now, they had originally postulates that the AGI will be here in about 10 years. Mm-hmm. So they were preparing 10 years ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This thing moves so fast that they're looking at AGI getting released by the fourth quarter of 2025. We're talking literally a year from now.
Wow.
Do you realize how our world is about to be turned upside down overnight?
Yeah.
The school you know today, schools not going to be physical buildings anymore. Gone 90 days. Do you realize right now we have over 1 billion rental space for commercial real estate in the country? Open.
What?
It's already hidden. I just want you to know, it's already hidden right now.
Yeah.
Okay? So do you realize that people are about to be sent home because AI is replacing their jobs? Some people are already getting that. Go to a restaurant, what's happening now?
Yeah.
You know, look at you drive through the toll. And are people collecting money from you anymore?
No.
By the way, that's your basic elementary AI. So I grab a phone, I say, hi, Siri. Siri, can you do this? What is that? Elementary AI. So what's my message to you?
Yeah.
The message is this, that AGI is going to change everything. So anyone that is worried about, oh my God, they use my voice on my this and my that, you don't have to be worried about that kind of stuff. What you worry about is, how do I use AI as a tool in my choosing endeavor to accelerate? Now, on the space of insurance, let me tell you why insurance is so beautiful. For the audience, some of you are probably going to go ahead and become an insurance agent after listening to this. AI is mechanical. AI is going to outthink human, by the way, just so you know that. AI is going to be 10,000 faster than the human brain. We're about to develop something that I don't even know if the human man can wrap their hand. And they said in the past, machine like AI existed. That's what they say.
Okay.
You know, like the pyramid of Giza was not built by human. They believe
That's what I be hearing.
People think it's some kind of conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But science
extraterrestrials.
Science proved that it was almost currently scientifically impossible to have structures like that constructed by human. But that's a different debate. I'll put that aside.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like I'm a conspiracy theorist type of a person.
Yeah.
But here's what we know.
I don't really like that word either, but go ahead.
You know, what we know is this.
Yeah.
That right now, as of this moment, that AGI is going to change the world.
Yeah.
And we know that human beings are going to buy back time. And we know that UBI stands for Universal Basic Income. UBI, the world came together trying to make sure they rescue human because of the fact that when all these people get laid off, 300 million people are going to be laid off worldwide. You know, it's a lot of people. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
So the government of the world are coming together and say, okay, let's fund these people. They have a mortgage to pay. They have a car note. They have kids going to school. They have groceries to buy. So let's give them some kind of money so that they can survive. So they're about to pull the world on a welfare. Each country to its own. So now, if you are an audience listening to me, you can say, are you serious right now? Is this a hogwash? Is this for real? Time is always the judge of all things. You say this. It's not going to take too long before you say it. So the reason why insurance is so powerful is insurance is emotionally based. Insurance is based on love.
So the bot can't write the policy.
Imagine what is AI going to say? AI say, hey, when I talk Greg, do you want life insurance today? No.
I don't know.
Okay, good to know. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
They might be able to create them to do objections.
Okay, guess what? Are you ready?
Yeah.
AI could do what we call syllogism and logic and try to convince you, but insurance is not about logic, it's about the emotions. When was the last time you say 1 + 1 = 2? Oh my God, that is so emotional. You start crying. That ever happened?
Yeah.
Logic doesn't bring about emotions and people crying.
Yeah.
So life insurance is about love. It's about emotions. It's about care. If you're in that space, you're good forever. At least for now. Until AI become human flesh that cry like us and everything like that. You follow me?
Yes.
So if you are in the world of therapy, okay, so if you're in the world of meditations, if you're in the world of, let's say, yoga, visualization, so stuff that is very human by nature is considered to be relatively safe as of this moment.
Okay.
But AI is for real.
At this moment.
For this moment.
Dr. Thomas, man,
Yes.
this was so good. You scared everybody, I'm pretty sure, you know. Or if not, you better get your act together and get your grind together and holler at this man, right? Let everybody know where they can find you at.
So right now, I'm all over the place on YouTube.
Yes.
You know, you can just search Dr. Kehinde Thomas, Kehinde Thomas. So if you search Dr. Kehinde Thomas on
Yes.
YouTube, you'll find me. On Instagram, they can find me at Kehinde 10, Kehinde 10, you know, on IG. They'll find me there. I'm on TikTok, you know. TikTok,
Okay, you dancing on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm getting on TikTok now. It's kind of funny. TikTok, I find TikTok very interesting. By the way, very interesting. TikTok, Kehinde 1028. It's Kehinde 1028. That's my TikTok.
Okay.
So that's pretty much, you know. I have a whole lot more, but my primary is the 3 I just get right there. So I can find it there. But before we go, I just want to say this to all the audience. You know, let me make sure I get a camera on me here. I really want them to hear this. You said, once in a blue moon, you have a podcast that is dedicated to bringing people to you to elevate you. Because the person doing the interview, they have access. They can keep this kind of information to themselves, you know. But when I watch a podcast like yours, you know, where you are head-bent on bringing value to the communities, you know, and bringing people, you know, because before me, you got somebody in the space of real estate, you got all this other stuff, and I see people coming through. I respect it a lot, you know, because that kind of contribution you're making the average person think. And the whole purpose of education is to make us think. You've been an incredible instrument in getting people to think. And when people think, people get better. So you're contributing very significantly, you know, and you're a net positive, not only to our community, but to our society. I just want to applaud the good work that you're doing. And I want the audience to understand, you know, that when someone like you in the space, by the way, of podcasting, wrapped around with insurance, have a license, but yet you're dedicated to just keep educating everyone, I applaud you tremendously. And I want the audience to understand that you're very unique. You know, you're very, very unique. You know, you're a trifecta in your own way. Because
Thank you. I received that.
Yeah, you are a podcaster, you know, and you're doing your thing, and you got all kinds of celebrities coming through that I watched, you know, and at the same time, you're in the space of insurance, you know, so where you are, and you are there educating families out there to protect themselves, but also, I also watch you as a father. I watch Amaya, you know, I watch what you're doing with the family, and I'm like, this is a really good guy, you know, so like literally, you're passing on a baton to your children by exposing them to an environment like this. It's a trifecta. So you come uniquely, like equipped to really contribute significant. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I received that. Thank you very much, Mr.
So,
Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you from a very humble perspective. You know,
Thank you.
I go on different podcasts. I'm talking 24/7. You know, but I want to let you know that I respect this time we just spent together.
Yes.
And I don't take it for granted.
No, it was a long time coming.
Yes.
You know, and I appreciate you for coming on, taking your time out, because I know you're a busy man. You're making $100,000 in a month.
Yes.
You know, so to be able to fit me in, I definitely appreciate that.
Anytime.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all go follow him. He got all the Jews. If you want to see him, make sure you pull up Tuesday, 7 p.m., Saturday at 10 a.m.
That's
We
right.
dropping Jews, and it's all free, right?
That's right.
So make sure you follow him. You already know what it is. It's Mr. Williams with the I Talk Great podcast, and we out of here. Yeah.
That's right. You know, we out.